Good morning and welcome to another video and welcome back to the channel. So today we're thinking about how can you video your rides. Keep watching the video to find the 3 ways I use to record my rides. So let's head inside now to have a look at some of the equipment and the video accessories I use to help make videoing your ride that much easier. Okay, so now we're back inside. Let's look at some of the equipment I use to do videos and some of the accessories that's going to make it a lot easier to do. So first thing to video a ride with is a phone. So if you've got a decent phone with a decent camera, you can get some really nice footage just using your phone. So you can do nice portrait shots for things like Instagram or shorts on YouTube, or you can do landscape for longer filming. One thing I would advise if you are using a phone, obviously you've got to be confident enough to ride one-handed while you're videoing. One thing I would suggest is, rather than just holding it in your hand like this, because I have seen people drop it and I've dropped my phone when it hasn't been held securely, is get a case that has a mounting port on it, or mounting point, where you can put a finger hold on it, which is going to give you a much firmer grip on the phone rather than just holding a phone like this. Okay, so make sure you've got something to hold it with. Or having said that, you can even get tripods and selfie sticks that then attach to the case, and that's going to help you hold your phone even better. Okay, so number 1, use a phone. As I said, you've got to be confident enough to ride one-handed to do it, but once you get into the habit of it, it is quite easy to do that. And especially if you're going off-road or on cycle paths and things like that, it's pretty safe to do too. Okay, so the second thing I use to video my rides with, and most of my videos on YouTube over the last year have been done using an Insta360 X3. And the nice thing about the X3 or a 360 camera is that in a way you can sort of just turn it on and then forget it. Once it's recording in 360 degrees, which is great. So you can then choose which view you're looking at. The negative things are that the quality of the image, I think with something like this, maybe the X4 is different, but I haven't got an X4, got an X3. The quality of the image isn't quite as good and as sharp as using something just like a GoPro or an Osmo Action 4, which we'll come on to in a minute. So for general usage, and as I said, all my videos pretty much up until now have been done using one of these. Makes it really easy to video. The only other issue is that when you come back on a ride, rather than just having some video you can then put straight into a video editor, you need to edit the video or choose which view of 360 degrees you're looking at, which is why some of my videos you can be looking straight down the road and then you spin the view of the camera and it's then facing you, and actually you haven't moved the camera at all, you're just changing the view you're looking at. The only thing is, as I said, it does take more time. It doubles the amount of time it takes to edit a film, because you're editing this first, then once you've got your footage, you're putting it into a video editor to edit it into your final film. But for general use, as I said, these are great and they can provide some really nice shots. You can attach this using the quarter mount to a mount on your handlebars, and that will just sort of hold it in a certain position. And with a selfie stick, you can get some quite nice shots. The only thing is, it is quite heavy. And so if you have it out extended, it does provide quite a lot of leverage on the mount. And the first time I used this, it did break. I was using a plastic mount that I think it came with the camera, but it did snap on my first ride and the camera bounced down the road. And luckily it survived. So as I said, for about a year since then, I've been using this. If again you're confident at riding one hand, you can do some really nice shots holding the 360 camera either over your shoulder or out to the side or behind you, and you can get some really interesting shots using this camera. In a couple of minutes I'll talk about some of the accessories I use, and they really make a difference to how much you can do and how easy it is to do the videoing. And finally, my camera of choice at the moment is an Osmo Action 4, and I've only recently got this, but the quality of the picture, being 4K and being just one plane of view as it were, is really good, and you can really tell the difference between videoing with this and a shot or a video taken with the Insta360. But it is more limiting because obviously it is only videoing the way you are looking. But again, using a simple selfie stick, like the one that came with it, you could video with that. Again, you can attach it on your handlebars or mount using a quarter mount, and then you can have it just out in front of you, turn back, videoing you. And if you want to, you can then turn it around to video the view where you're going. So you can sort of turn it on and then forget it to a certain extent. One thing about mounts is, as I have said in a previous video, which I'll link down below if you want to have a look at that, you really need to be careful and make sure you've got a strong mount, because the weight of these cameras, especially once you've put them out 50 centimeters or something from your bars, they are really going to start putting pressure on that mount, and you'll be surprised that just, you go over a bump and the camera suddenly goes forward or jolts down. It could be quite worrying. So you really need to be sure of that. But as I said, if you're confident riding one hand, you can always hold it in your hand, holding it next to the handlebars while you're doing a short shot, particularly if you're going off-road and things like that. So one thing that can really make a difference to your video is having some really good quality mounts and good quality accessories that are going to help you extend what you can do with your cameras. So one of them, for example, I've been sent a few things from TELESIN, and one is this selfie stick, which is a selfie stick, pretty standard, but it's got a ball mount at the top, so I can, if I needed to, adjust where it's going, so I can hold it more like that. And it's also got a tripod, so if I'm wanting to do a static shot and I've just put this at the side of the road somewhere and I want to see myself coming up a hill, I can put that at the side of the road, set it up how I want it. But if I want to do an Instagram shot or a YouTube short or something like that, I can easily turn it round, secure it into place, and I know my shot's going to be the way I want it. And this is nice because you can lock it with that, so it doesn't actually change. So once you've locked it, it's going to be pretty secure. Leave that running, go and cycle up the hill, cycle down the hill, whatever you're doing, and you're going to have a nice static shot. Obviously, the only thing is when you're videoing yourself, you need to then go back up the hill, get your camera or turn it round to do the view of you going back down the hill. Okay, but something like this, which is versatile and you can use in different situations, is a really good accessory to get. TELESIN do make a huge amount of mounts for different cameras, phones, selfie sticks. So this is one I'd recommend. But also some of those shots I've got on the Insta360 X3 is using a really long selfie stick. And this selfie stick goes out to 3 meters. So if you want to get those drone-like shots, this is something you could use. And again, this is a nice, it feels really good quality. It's made out of carbon, so it's not too heavy. But again, if you've got a camera 3 meters away from you, it's going to start feeling heavy. But it locks nicely in place, so you can have it however long you want it. It's pretty good at securing itself. And again, it's got the mount at the top where you could put an Insta360 on it, you could put a GoPro or Osmo Action 4 on it. And these sort of accessories really make a difference. Obviously, Once again, you need to be confident at riding one hand. This is probably, although it's got a quarter mount on it, I wouldn't necessarily suggest you have it extended very far on your handlebars or on a mount on the bike. But when you're off-road or in a really quiet area, it's some, you know, that you can get some really nice shots just holding it over your shoulder or holding it out in front of you or to the side, and you can get those drone-like shots just using a selfie stick like this. Okay, so I hope you found the video useful and you've got some tips on how you could maybe video your rides. If you've got any other accessories you use or any other methods, don't forget to drop them in the comments below. And until next time, happy shooting and bye for now.